Hello, so this video it's actually for a friend of mine who wants to know why I'm against the rank 1 guild. Now, for those who have been playing Sword of Shadows recently, you'll notice some fairly big changes have taken place in Sword of Shadows. One main big change in particular is technically it's a guild that was full of a lot of fairly low might players in comparison to the top might guilds. So like they didn't have any members in there that was like 1.7 mil or anything like that, or anywhere near that level. But they were fairly big in numbers, and it was originally actually a rank 2 guild. That's how many people they got to join the guild, that they actually got enough might to be rank 2, even ranking above Warriors and the Ryu guild that actually had a lot stronger members in their guild. Because like the Fearless guild was, they had members that were about, I believe, 1.4 to 1.5 at the highest, whereas the Warriors guild and the Ryu guild have players that are as strong as like 1.92 mil. So, yeah. And basically they were able to beat them and take the rank 2 spot on the ranking board. Well, what's happened is an incident occurred where basically what happened is a player called Raven went into a demon PvP realm, which is a place where you can go and farm some bosses and stuff like that and collect some decent rewards. And he went in there to kill a boss, and when he went in there, he got to the boss and started trying to kill it, and a player called Shu from the Dragons Guild went in and killed him. Now, from what I could work out from the conversation I had with them, Shu had been in there for like 25 minutes before the boss had spawned. But Shu hadn't gone straight over to the boss and tried to kill the boss before anybody else entered. So, basically he went in there 25 minutes beforehand, and then Raven went in at some point in between that time, went to the boss and attacked the boss. And because Shu had entered the boss, and well, not entered the boss, been in the event for longer, he obviously thinks that Raven should have left the boss and given it to Shu, because Shu had been in there longer, even though he hadn't gone to the boss. Because if Shu had gone to the boss, then he wouldn't have been able to have stolen it off someone, because he would have already been the owner of it. So, yeah. Shu went into the battle 25 minutes before, well, went into the event 25 minutes before the boss would appear. And Raven got to it first, started trying to kill it. Shu's gone over and killed him and taken the boss. So, after the event, this happened during the morning. I think the boss spawns at around 9 o'clock in the morning. And it's the same time again on the night as well. So, this happened in the morning. And, yeah, after Shu killed Raven, Raven then said in World Chat that, basically called Shu a thief. Basically said, Shu, you're a thief, or Shu's a thief, something like that. And, then Cashews, who's the leader of their guild, basically threatened the guild and said, apologise or we'll open a can of worms on your guild. The point is, though, it doesn't matter if Shu was in the event first or not. If somebody else got the boss before you, and then you kill them and take the boss, that makes you a thief. So if you don't want people calling you a thief in the game, and let's be honest, most players in Sword of Shadows are indeed thieves. And I would say a good between 98 to 99% of the players in Sword of Shadows are thieves. There's no other way to put it. Those that are not within that 98-99% are the low mates. And most of them I don't really class as actual players on the game because they're not really that active. And they don't communicate with the server because, well, let's just be honest. The server or the community right now, it's dog shit. Really, it's poison. And yeah. So yeah, basically what happened is Shu stole the warlord, although Cash will say, well, Shu was in the event first, so that means it should be his boss. Well, sorry, Raven got to it first. Doesn't matter who was in the event for the longest time. If you go into the event or you're standing outside where the boss will respawn or whatever, and you go AFK, well, that's your problem. You should have got to that boss before somebody else did. If somebody else got there before you and you kill them, that makes you a thief. Being a higher might doesn't automatically give you the permission and the right to steal off them. And then say, well, hey, I've stolen this boss from you. I mean, you got it first, but I'm a higher might, so I'll take it off you, but you're not allowed to tell anybody. You can't do that. Because if you do, we'll open a can of worms on you and your guild. And that's exactly what they did. They basically destroyed the second rank guild, making the leader of the second rank guild leave the game and delete her account. Now, do I have any proof of this? Well, this is exactly, I'm just telling you right here, that's Cash. As I said, I was online when it all happened. She entered the round 25 minutes before and called Ling. I don't know what he means by Ling. It must be on about the map that he was on. Because the Demon Round PvP can be on different maps. You could be in the one for Ming, you could be in for the one for the Ling map, you could be on the Wudang map. It depends. You never know which one you're going to be in. So Raven must have ended up in the same one that she was in, unfortunately. Later on World Chat, Raven called Shu thief. Okay. We said how realm is kill or be killed. That's true. It is. It's kill or be killed. If you want to kill, you kill. If you want to steal, you steal. It's not a nice thing to do, but there's nothing wrong about that. Technically, the game allows it. I said apologise before we unleash can of worms on you and your guild. They said, so I'm a worm, and laughed. That's how it started. Okay, so Raven exposed Shu for being a thief, to which is what he did. And you threaten the girl. That's where I draw the line. You went too far with that. Way too far. Now, basically, what happened, the full insight of the story that happened from there on is, well, basically, Shu killed Raven, took the boss from Raven. So killed him, took the boss. Raven exposed him for being a thief on World Chat. And what wind the dragons up the most is the fact that one of their members have been exposed as a thief. Well, if you don't want people all over the game to know that you're a thief, then there is a solution. Don't steal. Genius, isn't it? You know what I mean? If you don't want people to know that you're a thief, then you just don't steal. Now, if you don't mind people knowing that you're a thief, then do whatever the fuck you want. but you have no right to complain about it. So, yeah, that's where I draw the line. I mean, when it comes to going into that event, it's an open PvP area. Technically, it's not a very nice thing to do, to steal a boss off somebody. If somebody's got first ownership, normally I would just let them have it. Although these days, I am becoming a little bit more cold-hearted and less forgiving towards players that are in these types of guilds. Because it's like, why the fuck should I help them or allow them to continue to grow their guild and their members and stuff like that, and support their members and let them get stronger and enjoy the game and get to a position where they can then assist the bullies within their guild by bullying other low-might players? No, I'll stand up against it, because I'm sick of that rubbish. That's not why I play a game. To get strong and bully the weak is just not my style. And if you're going to grow a guild and you believe it's generally okay to allow yourself or one of your members to go around bullying people just because, well, you don't like someone, or just because they're competition to you, well, sorry, but you're out of order, and I'll dish it back. So, yeah, that's why I'm against the drags. After Raven exposed Shu for being a thief, they threatened to open a can of worms. In other words, to attack them, well, attack Raven and his guild. They also openly said in the game that they would hunt any guild that he joins. So basically, they believe they generally had the right to decide what guild he can and cannot be in. Why would you even think you'd have the right to decide that? You know what I mean? You don't. You don't have the right to decide, well, I don't mind that player, so you can join a guild, but you, I don't like you, you're not allowed to join any guild. Because if you join any guild, we're going to hunt you. Because we're the strongest guild in the game. We're rank 1, so if we say that you're not allowed to join any guild, you ain't joining any guild, because if you do, we'll hunt you, and any guild you join. Not because you guys do anything to us, you can't even touch us, you wouldn't even dare touch our low mites. But we can attack you and your members whenever the fuck we want. And there's nothing you can do about it. Sorry, but people who act like that in a game, they're not my type of people. I don't like hanging around people like that. And I will always go against people who treat the game like that. Because when you join an MMO game, regardless of how tough or cruel the environment might be, and it is a pretty rough game, it doesn't really give you the right to be a complete dick. You know what I mean? There's got to be some sort of boundaries, you know what I mean? Some sort of limits you set yourself. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just going to change who you are as a person. At least that's how I see it. And yeah, those who want to play nasty should expect the same karma. So yeah, this is what happened. Now, basically, after he was exposed, after Raven exposed Shu of being a thief, which happened at like 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 AM. They'd been arguing all day. And then by about 5 o'clock, I think I've got it screenshotted somewhere up here. Or maybe not. Hang on, where is it? Don't even know where it is. Might be here. He sent me a screenshot. And this was sent in team. This means he didn't actually... No, this was taken from team. You can see he's got the team tab. Oops, I can't select on the screen. But if you have a look here on the picture, scroll down on the left side, you'll see team is highlighted. So this is something that they wanted to use as a reason for going after the guild. Now, I don't condone what Raven did here. It was bang out of order. But at the same time, I can't help but acknowledge that this screenshot was taken in team chat, so we didn't say it in world chat. And it was taken at 5:18. With the last comment, well, with the first comment seen on this screen before this come out, saying Raven, it's got 2 stars because it's not filling in the words, that's the bug on the game. Shut the fuck up. You abused me this morning, don't talk to me. And that's where Raven said the N-word. Now this was done at 5:18 p.m. 17 is 5 on a 24-hour clock. 5 p.m. So yeah, at 5:18 p.m. this was said. Now, I'm not on the game at the moment, so I can't show you the boss spawn times for the main bosses, but they only spawn at 2 times. I believe I made a video where I would have mentioned it. The main boss that they would have been fighting over spawns at 9 o'clock, 9 in the morning, 9 in the afternoon. I believe that's the spawn time anyways. I could be wrong. It could be 8 or it could be 7. But I'm pretty sure it's 9 in the morning. And this, as you can tell by team chat, shows that they were going on from 9, right, 8 hours. They'd been arguing for 8 hours before eventually they'd just had enough and said something they really shouldn't have said. Let's keep in mind that even by Cash's own admission, let's scroll up to where I first asked him about what was going on. No, that's where he was asking me to use my odds to vote for Shu. There we go. So this is when I first asked him what was going on. And he basically said, because I found out that there had been some sort of argument going on between them. The day before this actually occurred, Jen actually put her out in Heggy and helped Dragons farm for Heggy points to be able to get some high rewards. And I've been helping them for quite a lot in Heggy during this moment in time before all this took place. This morning in Demon Realm, Shu was there 25 minutes before and killed Raven when try get boss. Okay, so what are you actually trying to say? When try get boss, what do you mean by that? Anyways, Raven call Shu thief in world chat. Then we ask why he said he'd take boss in realm. We said it's kill or be killed. I then said apologise or we unleash can of worms on your guild. So straight there, even by Cash's own admission, they threatened Raven and his guild. Well, and the guild he was in. It was actually Jen's guild. And yeah, and then obviously after that, they'd been arguing for a while throughout the day. Raven said something he definitely shouldn't have, which I definitely don't condone. And yeah, and it all kicked off. Although it had all kicked off before he said that. Because I've been going around threatening them and killing them and PKing them on warlords. And so yeah, that's the reason why I'm actually against Cash. And before anybody tries to say it, no, it's got nothing to do with me sticking up for Raven. Because to be quite honest, me and Raven have had problems in the past. Because I remember a time where he was in Rebels, I believe. And they attacked the Dragons Guild, the low might dragons, not the rank 1 ones. Nedguard's Guild. And I went there and asked them to stop trying to raid them. And they were saying stuff like, nah, we're savages and stuff like that. So yeah. So it's got nothing to do with me sticking up for him. It's just a simple fact of he's exposed or said that a member of your guild member stole a warlord off him. And then you believed that gave you the right to threaten to basically destroy their guild. And that's what I do not condone. That's where you cross the line. So, yeah. And then that obviously caused Raven to cross the line even further. Point is, though, and there's no denying this, he would never have said the N-word if you hadn't crossed the line in the first place by threatening their guild. You basically provoked him into doing something that was completely stupid. So, yeah, that's why I'm after the drags. It's quite complicated, long and drawn out, but sorry, but I know for a fact that if I helped or supported the drags, they get strong to the point where no other guild no other player or no other guild could do anything to them. And then they'd be able to go around and do whatever the hell they want, knowing nobody could stop them. The problem with that is that once they have that power, I know for a fact that they'll just be going around PKing, killing, bullying, whoever they want, because they know nobody can do anything about it. So I'm going to do some damage to that guild before they can get to that point. And I encourage you to join me, because these guilds who play like this, they're not only a problem or a threat towards me or any guild I join or anyone that supports me. They are a threat to every player on the game and every low might guild. Doesn't matter how nice or friendly they try to pretend they are. If anybody in their guild decides that they don't like you or any player within your guild, that's all it takes. That's it. 1 minute they can be your best friend, and the next minute, well, sorry, but if one of my guild members don't like one of your guild members and decides that they want to hunt you, well, tough shit, we're going to help them hunt you. Doesn't matter if you've done anything bad to us or not. Doesn't matter if we've got a problem with you or not. If one of their members decides that they want to attack you or your guild, well, it's their guild member, we're going to help them. And if you don't like it, well, tough shit. Sorry, but I don't play by those rules, Cash. So, yeah, that's why I'm against them. Because I just don't see the point in playing like that. You know what I mean? Nobody has the right to go around bullying people on a game, because how I see it, when you play a game, the other players on that game, the lower might players on that game, they're not just there to be bullied for your amusement. They're other actual players. You know what I mean? They're real people playing the game, minding their own business, doing what they need to grow in the game. There's no need to go around hassling them. If you don't like somebody, that's your problem. You're the one who don't like them. That doesn't give you the right to go around and enforce the fact that you don't like them upon them. And only real nasty piece of work would do that. It's like somebody saying, well, hey, you know what? I'm white and you're black. So, you know what? I don't like you because you're a different skin colour. Or, I'm black, but you're white. So I don't like you because you're a different skin colour. So that gives me an excuse to say, you know what? I don't like you. I'm going to PK you. You know what? I'm a girl. But you're a guy. And I don't like you. Because my boyfriend was a dickhead. So that means all boys are dickheads. So I don't like you. So I'm going to kill you. You know what? I'm a guy and I don't like you. Because you're a girl and my ex, she cheated on me. So you know what? I'm going to kill all girls. You know what? I don't like you because you don't have the same beliefs as me. So you know what? I'm going to kill you. And you know what? I don't like you because you're mixed race. And I'm pure race. So I'm going to kill you because you're mixed. And you know what? I don't like you because I'm mixed race. I get the best of both worlds. But you're a pure race. So I'm going to kill you. And you know what? I don't like you because I like to kill the weak. And you don't. So I don't like you. You're standing my way. So I'm going to hunt you. You know what? I don't like to kill the weak. And you do. So I don't like you. Because you're going to kill the weak. So I'm going to kill you. I mean, it's stupid. It really is. It's immature people that play this game at the moment. And it needs to change. Because all it's going to ever do is hold the game down. And they'll make people leave the game. And you'll end up with a dead server. At the moment, we're at about, let me think, say about 10 to 15 players. Maybe 20 at the most pushing it that we could consider top players. And then we've got between, that's like the first 10, 20. They're the ones that are really within the top stage of the server. And then you've got, say, from 20 to, let me think, 20 to 50. They're all hovering around the same might. And then from 50 downwards is all the extremely weak players. So there's only really no more than, say, 50 actual players within the game that you can actually team up with for events and stuff. Because the rest of them don't have the might to be able to register for events like Treasure Ship Hard. Or Treasure Ship Hell. I mean, and some of them don't have the level requirements for some events and stuff like that. And the more that this goes on, the more of these players are going to drop out the game. Another player called, I think his name was Duran something. D-A-U-N or D-U-A-N or something like that. The name's longer than that, but I only remember the first 4 letters of his name. And he recently quitted the game as well. And a few others have quitted. And these were all fairly high might players that have dropped out, as well as Jen being trolled out of the game. These are like 4 or 5 more players that the server can now no longer team up with. That's basically another Treasure Ship Easy team gone out of the game. So all you're doing is damaging yourselves, holding yourselves back, putting less money into the game, and therefore there's less players buying all these pages to then put in trade when they don't need them, so they can put pages they don't need into trade, allowing you to buy their pages. Now you can't buy their pages because they're no longer in the game spending money putting those pages into trade. So, yeah. Sorry if I'm rambling on a bit. I thought I'd explain why I'm against people like that. I just don't see the point in bullying people just because you don't like someone. If you don't like them, you just ignore them. The only time I personally go after somebody is if they're constantly going after people all the time. They're constantly threatening people. They're constantly going around slagging them off and just PKing or helping people PK whoever. You know what I mean? If you're teaming up with someone or grouping up a group of players to PK somebody for no reason at all than the fact that you just don't like them. Sorry, but that's not a good enough reason for me. And if you think that that's wrong and it's a PK game and you should just go around PKing whoever the hell you want, well, you know what? I can dish it back. The only difference is I'm just going to go after anybody in the guilds who allow their members to do just that. As far as I'm concerned, you brought it on yourself. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye for now. And yeah, just before I end this, I'll give another quick brief breakdown of what happened. Raven and Shu went into Realm, Demon Realm PvP at around 9 o'clock, well just before 9 o'clock. Shu got in there first, Raven got to the boss. Shu killed Raven, Raven called Shu a thief in World Chat. Cash and Shu then basically threatened the guild and threatened to go hunting them and destroying the guild. And then Raven said the N-word. That's it in the long and short. However, before Raven did that, of course, they'd already been hunting and PKing the guild. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. This is a full detail of why I'm against the guild called the Dragons. And if you're new to the game, or if you've come across this video and haven't seen this game yet, come join us. You never know, by the time you see this video, maybe the server's a little bit better. Keep an eye open for my new updates, new videos I'll be making. When new stuff is added to the game, you'll be the first to know via my YouTube channel. Also, there's some more updates coming out very soon, including Fraction Level 2. Should have been out by now, but they haven't released it just yet. They've held off on it. However, it was out by the middle of the year that we're about to leave. So, I know it'll definitely be in the game by, I believe it's June or July of next year. At that point, I know it was already in the China server. And there's only about a year gap between this game and the China one at the moment. So, yeah, keep an eye open for those updates. Of course, it all depends on the development of the server to whether we'll get the updates or not. If our server or the active players on our server grow at a slower rate than what the China server did, then what'll happen is they'll delay the updates, which will allow China server to push further ahead and get more stuff, as well as then create new content to release for our server when our players get to the point of needing that content. The more that the active players can push their might up, and the more players within that server, well, EU server, can bring their might up, the more you can actually encourage the developers to bring out more and more updates. For anyone who's played games like Azabimo's, Iruna Online and stuff like that, you will have probably have experienced, especially back in the early days, such things happening just like that. Because I used to work with a lot of the top pro players on those games, and we used to force updates. So basically, JP would have all of the newer updates come out to the game before any of the other versions of the Iruna game, and me and basically every guild on the game all grouped up and worked together and just pushed everybody straight ahead. I used to use the dual play trick. You might remember me as Jace Hawk, and do you remember back in the early days, that player who used to solo the bosses with a dual play Bishop and High Whiz combo? That was me. So, yeah, I used to basically take different players, different guild leaders, guild members, through their stories to boost their might up and get them through the stories that were literally impossible to beat. And I mean, we were fighting bosses that would kill us in one hit, and we would do almost no damage to the boss. And the only way to kill it was by a dual play and kind of like a glitch. So how this glitch would work is you'd enter the boss and you'd send your wizard straight over to the boss, and you'll let the boss kill your wizard right in the middle of the ring, and you just leave it there dead. And what you do with your bishop is you'd run away in the opposite direction from the boss, but you'd have your wizard facing towards the front of the boss. If you had him towards the back of the boss, it'll put your healer in a really bad position. So you basically want your wizard in between the bishop and the enemy. And then what this would allow you to do is click the heal skill, which would allow your healer to run to within the distance required to reach your wizard and heal them. And it'll leave your bishop just slightly further enough so that the boss couldn't detect you while you were healing your wizard. And this would allow you to spam heals on it while you were spamming attacks with your wizard. Now, if you did it quick enough, you would be able to get off at least one attack while your character was actually dying, even though the boss is like killing you in one hit. So you'd be spamming heals while your wizard was spamming damage, and this would allow you to kill bosses that you were not supposed to be able to kill. So that was one way to encourage more updates on the game. We used to basically all work together using different tricks. That was one of the ones I used for completing stories. And yeah, we used to get everybody geared up, max the game as fast as we can. And we went through a stage of going from receiving one update every 3 to 4 months to a stage where we were actually receiving an update every 2 weeks, because every time they released an update, we maxed it straight away. So, yeah, and if, like, everybody's complaining, oh, there's not enough content in Sword of Shadows, you've only got yourself to blame. You're getting rid of all of the strongest players, as many of them as you can, and weakening the server, because now the weak players have got to take over from where the strong players left off. And that's why you're not getting the updates like you used to, because you're holding the server back. I mean, what do you think would happen if the top 10 players dropped out the game now? You wouldn't get another update till the end of next year. That's a fact. Because it would take you at least 4 or 5 months for the next 20 players to catch up to where Light Chi is. I mean, keep in mind, some of these players have like unlocked even maxed Oct classes. I'm not even close to unlocking it yet. And most of the players below me aren't even close to unlocking it. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. I'm only top 20. And, yeah, the more of these high or medium might players that you discourage from playing the game only weakens the server and delays the updates that would help not only us grow and mid-might players and low-might players, but you guys grow as well. I mean, you're spending all this money to get Oct class and stuff like that. And you already know from the China server, there's an update coming where all of that stuff will be given to everyone. So why not push the development of the server forwards so you can get it without spending $5,000 to get it? It only makes sense, don't it? So, yeah. That's another thing as well for low and mid-might players. Don't worry about trying to max everything when it comes to martial arts that will take you forever to get, like gold classes and Oct. Don't do the mistake that a lot of players have made where they're selling all their blue and purple martial arts and internals and stuff like that and buying gold, because it'll take you so long to get these unbound silver for it to get it that it just won't be worth it, and you'll be extremely weak with it anyways. Even if you sold everything to get Dragonclaw, you'll be the weakest Dragonclaw user, and you won't have the additional stats from purple and blue classes to be able to do any damage with it. So your Dragonclaw will be weaker than your blue classes because you haven't put everything else on your character that you need that also increases your might and stats. So yeah, that's something that some of the players have been making to try to speed their character up, and they've basically ended up holding their character back. So yeah, that's it for this video. I've rambled on a little bit too much, but this video basically goes over why I went against the drags. aka the rank 1 girl. Not NetGuard's girl, they're okay. Thank you for watching. Bye bye for now.